welcome in beautiful, beautiful souls. It is Chris from Embodying Light here with you for another twin flame reading. So today what I want to talk about is the crystal Rosophia and her energy and presence for the twin flame collective at this time. So I've been really meditating a lot because, especially with the essence and the resonance of Rosophia, because it's been coming to me, this resonance has been coming to me so strongly since the Lion's Gate in August, and it's becoming increasingly intense. I'm feeling like the energy of Sophia is coming in through the Earth's atmosphere very intensely right now. I feel a lot of energy that's coming in, light codes and solar rays that we're kind of downloading and we're integrating and processing at this time is coming from this energy of Sophia. So the presence of the divine feminine is very intense, and this is not to say, and I want to clarify this from the beginning, this is not to say that the divine feminine is better than the masculine or vice versa. I'm just feeling like as twins, whether you're male or female, we both carry the feminine resonance, just like females carry the masculine resonance as well. We all have the divine masculine and divine feminine energy in us, but I'm feeling right now that we're all being asked to rise more and heal more and integrate more through the essence of the feminine. And I feel like a lot of that's coming from the masculine was being asked to kind of heal and rise up and kind of just, I feel like the masculine was more of like an awakening and an awareness when we dealt a lot with the Mars retrograde energy. And now we're in the kind of shadow phase of Venus retrograde, but Venus is currently in Scorpio, so very divine feminine energy, an energy of relationships, of love. So I feel like that's why this essence and this resonance is coming in as strongly as it is right now, and we're being asked to really step up and heal, go deeper within the relationship with the divine feminine within ourselves, and also how we connect with the essence of the divine feminine in our external environment with our relationship to all things. So I feel like that's why Sophia is really present at this time. So pulling into that, I wanted to integrate and I want to pull in working with the crystal Rosophia, which if you see, I have on the table for you guys. And just so you know, the Rosophia that's present right now is available. I have maybe 10 available. So if you feel called to work with this resonance and work with the Rosophia crystal, it connects connects directly with the essence of Sophia and the divine feminine. And if you're not familiar with Sophia, I don't want to go super in depth with it, but you definitely can look into it. Sophia is connected with the soul of the world, the divine feminine soul of the world. And she is the essence of the divine feminine that lies within each of us. So this crystal will be available if you haven't worked with it before. I'm going to put the link in my bio for this for you to purchase if you'd like. And so I don't want to go too far into that. But I do want to talk about, because we're still kind of integrating and working with the energies that came from the new moon in Virgo. And I just remember that the new moon, I really can't talk today. Can't get it out. But I feel like the new moon in Virgo is helping us to build a new structure. And we talked about this before. This is a new template that's coming in. So remember, we're talking about when we're working with the feminine right now, we're healing negative patterns around love. Okay? And, you know, in enters Venus in Scorpio, and Venus going retrograde in Scorpio, which happens on October 5th. So we start, and immediately I'm called to this. And this card was from a previous reading. Immediately I'm called to this remembrance. So I feel like Venus in Scorpio is pulling us backwards, going into the past, going into our past lives. And, you know, we're really digging deep. We're going deep within the self. A lot of introspection happening here for the divine feminine. But I always, and I've been seeing this energy like, you know, we're all this beautiful blossoming rose, this rose of unconditional divine love. And, you know, as a rose, remember the rose has vines, the rose has thorns. It has this superior defense and protection mechanism. But after time of just protecting ourselves from wounds all the time, instead of just experiencing and feeling and healing, we begin to kind of smother and suffocate our beauty. We begin to smother and suffocate our true essence. And so what we're doing in this I really can't talk today, guys. In this Venus retrograde, it's like all this information, these downloads are coming in so fast. It's like I'm trying to slow it down so I can to verbalize it, so bear with me. But I feel like with this Venus retrograde happening, you know, we're going back into all of these experiences, and I feel like a lot of memories are being triggered within us. A lot of dreams, a lot of external situations are triggering the emotional body, so that we can really feel into what we need to heal, so we can really let go and we can shift out of the woundedness. And I want to go a little bit into, when we talk about this woundedness, we're talking about, and I don't want to say negative, but I want to talk about the wounded divine feminine here, like the qualities. And, you know, you may have some of your own that you may identify with, but, you know, when we're wounded, we experience feelings of just that martyrdom. We feel powerless, weak. We become very codependent, and we experience that a lot, especially when it comes to our external divine partnership or twin flame or soulmate, whatever terminology you resonate with. We can kind of become aggressive towards our counterpart. Overly emotional is definitely one that I'm sure that all of the divine feminines can kind of resonate with. Just that intense emotional energy that makes you feel like you're out of control. And I feel like it's that energy that also triggers the divine feminines to short circuit sometimes. They would just want to give up on the journey, but there's a need to really ground and really become conscious of your feelings and emotions. So I feel like in this retrograde, a lot of the wounded feminine qualities are coming up and being triggered for you to consciously look at. So this isn't a bad thing, because we're experiencing these qualities so that we can understand ourselves better, so that we can heal ourselves and love ourselves in these spaces. And, you know, I was thinking about this just driving today, where, you know, we want to push down those feelings instead of just allowing ourselves to be uncomfortable in experiencing, you know, the feelings and emotions as they come in the space that they're in. You know, we can't judge those things as being, and those feelings and emotions as being good or bad. The only thing we can do is just become conscious, to become aware of those feelings of emotions. Therefore, you know, by allowing ourselves to be in that space, we can understand things about ourselves. We can understand what's driving us, what's driving our behaviors. And it's important to love yourself in that space, you know, because a lot of these different wounded feminine qualities stem from And what's been coming to me a lot is just the lower triad. And when I talk about them, talking about our energy centers and our chakras. So we're talking, our root chakra, we're talking our sacral chakra, we're talking about our solar plexus chakra. And, we get into our developmental years, patterns, learned behaviors. Specifically, what we're talking about here is how we've viewed and we've learned what love is based upon our experiences and what we've been taught and taken on from others and society in our developmental years. I mean, we have to remember that, and I want to get the specifics here. So I thought I had this pulled out, but going into the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plexus chakra, we have to remember that, for example, the foundation that we built within our root chakra, that age of resonance is from conception to 7 years old. So I feel like it's really important when we're doing this healing work, feminines, and we're diving deep, to go into these different pockets, like really tap into these memories because they're available for you. They're coming up. Tap into, the energy of the root chakra. That's our foundation. It's where we learn to find stability, that structure, that security in our lives. And really tap into that energy of the root chakra, especially in that particular age of resonance, and tune into what experiences, what memories, what you may have kind of learned, or any imprints during that time. Like, ask for that, because intention is very important. Ask for those memories to come up. Ask for what you need to heal that resonance within your root chakra to come forward with you. And you can work through this. You don't have to do it all at one time. You can take a specific or allocated amount of time to work through the root chakra. You can, same thing with the sacral, same thing with the solar plexus. With the sacral, we start talking about our sexuality, our sensuality, pleasure, well-being, the feeling of knowing that we deserve, that we're enough, and that if we treat ourselves well, we're taking care of them, and life takes care of us back. If we're filling our own cup, that what's outside of us is being taken care of as well. And the age of resonance there is 7 to 14. So we start getting into adolescent years. So again, like, really tap and tune into any experiences, any traumas, any triggers. Ask for that to be brought forward for you to work through. And then I want to talk to, I'm not going in super detail with the chakras. I'm just kind of hitting the touch points, because my purpose isn't really to go super far into the chakras. But if that's something that you would like me to go a little bit further into in a video, then just let me know in the comments below, and I can designate a video specifically to working with the lower chakras, clearing and healing. Because when we're doing this work in the lower chakras, what we're really doing? We're healing the inner child. We're clearing this energy so we can really heal the inner child, and we can love ourselves in all of those spaces, from those age periods where we were children, we were adolescents, we were young adults. These are the formative years, the things that created what we perceived life and reality to be. And we're shedding all those paradigms and the conditioning and the things that we learned from other people or parents, and we're connecting with our true essence and what the actuality and reality of unconditional love is. And just want to talk about the solar plexus here. Age of resonance 14 to 21. So then we start talking about self-worth or self-esteem, confidence, understanding the right use, I want to emphasize that, of our personal power, and being able to, being able to consciously choose the path for our lives and using our power for the greater good. And that alignment comes when we are connected to our heart and we are acting and moving from our hearts. We've seen the effects that being disconnected from our heart and misusing our power has wielded in the world. So it's very important to heal the inner child, because this is what we're really talking about here, to really heal the inner child, especially in these lower, more physical chakras, so that we can let go and free ourselves from that energy and untangle ourselves from, the thorns and the vines that we kind of put up to protect ourselves from all of these things that we've experienced, so we can be in our true beauty, the essence of the rose, the sacred divine that is in all of us. And that divine essence is the unified, illumined, divine masculine, feminine. So I don't know if I went off in a tangent, but I'm kind of just, going with it and speaking as it's coming through. So bear with me here. So I took a lot of notes, and before I really get into it, because I feel like this is going to be a packed video today, make sure you check out in the comments below. I'm on Instagram as Embodying Light. As I said before in previous videos, I'm currently inactive on Instagram because I'm just doing kind of a mental body cleanse. I'm plugging from social media and I've been meditating more and really tuning in. But you can still follow me there. If you would like a personal reading, that information is also below. You can email me at intheroughcrystals@gmail.com. And I'm also on Instago, so I put a lot of information. I'll put special videos up on Instago sometimes. There's a lot of different offerings, crystals, and whatnot on my Instago as well. And if you just have any random questions, something that comes up, or maybe something that I say in the video kind of triggers you, or, you can identify with, or you feel that you can expand upon something that I said in the video and that might help someone else, just shoot me a message on Instago. Like, I do respond to the messages on my Instago. That link's going to be in the bio. Make sure you follow me on Instago. Make sure you also subscribe to the channel and hit the little notification bell so you know when new videos are coming forward and available for you. So let's go ahead and go in. So I pulled some cards. And I pulled these the other day, not necessarily for this particular reading, but when I started kind of tuning in today, I felt called to bring this energy here because I feel like this is what is currently going on. And here's this energy of restructuring again. So we have like the Tower card in reverse, as you can see right here. And I feel like what I'm feeling is that, like, all of these old paradigms and structures are kind of being ripped apart. Like, we're questioning things. We're looking at all of the things that we've held on to that have kind of been weighing us down, that's no longer serving us, because we want to break free. Like, our heart is pulsating. There's that Rosophia energy. Like, it's a heart chakra energy. It's pulsating and it's trying to get out. It needs to get out because the world needs this energy. Remember why we're here, twin flames. You know what I mean? Remember why we're here. Remember who you are keeps coming up. But we got to break free from this energy because we have a path, we have a purpose, we have a mission to do as twin flames, and each pathway is unique for each twin flames, but the mission still remains the same in the end. So it's like we have to break free. We gotta do this healing. We gotta weave through this so that we can embody our essence. So there's a lot of shifts. There's a lot of changing energies. It feels it could feel very unstable right now. I feel like there's a lot of confusion going on. But very important to stay grounded. Really stay grounded. Keep your energy field clear. Take notice of what's going on around you, what's going on in relationship to yourself, not only within yourself, but also externally, because, when we're talking about Venus and Scorpio going deep into the emotions and the underworld and doing this healing, you know, we're also looking at, there's a need to protect yourself. I'll say that's coming forward. So I think it's important to really be mindful of the energies that are around you. This is probably going to be a time where you're going to start removing yourself from certain, you know, situations, whether it's jobs, whether it's people, whether it's relationships, things that are no longer serving you, because those energies are weighing you down. It's kind of creating a block so you can't shift, and you can't ascend into this vibration that's coming in for us to really integrate here. So there's a lot of letting go. So in whatever aspect you feel like you need to purge, whether it's clothes, shoes, items, emotional things, a job that no longer serves you, like friendships, whatever it may be in a space of just surrender. Surrender, just allow it at this time, because honestly, with the tower energy here, it's like we kind of really don't have the choice, because the divine energy is like, it's time to step up, it's go time here. And we had the Four of Swords in reverse, so it's just a lot of our mental constructs, the things that we built, a foundation based upon, the things that has affected our thinking, the way that we perceive our reality to be, it's being shaken up so that we can release those things. So we're no longer weighed down. We're not, depressed. And it's like, I always like to show this card because, and I'm going to show it upright right now, but it just feels like very alone, very sad, very, very depressed energy. And we're releasing that. We're releasing the things that have us weighed down, that's pulling us away from our essence. And when we're in a space where we're receptive to that, which is receptivity is, remember, feminine energy, we're receptive to that and we surrender to that, and we choose in our hearts and upon our divine will to embody that. In space, we have the Ace of Swords, which is right in the center, and it's like every time I see this card, I can picture, this is not only the divine feminine, but this is the divine masculine with both of their hands on the sword, grabbing this. Reminds me of the sword and the stone, grabbing this sword and holding it up in the air, and they're declaring their will. They're choosing from a space of their heart to follow the divine energy. And they're taking that light, that seed, and they're integrating that into this paradigm. And that's our job as twin flames. We are integrating into this template the vibration of unconditional love. But we have to declare it for ourselves first. We have to choose it for ourselves first. This is a victory here. That's how I see it. Like, when you surrender and you allow this divine will to work for you and work through you in your life, this is a victory. Because now when you build this new foundation, when you do that healing work in the lower triad, the lower chakras, now you're kind of restructuring, you're recalibrating yourself. So this is an energy shift. And a lot of us may be feeling this energy shift. A lot of ascension symptoms are here. Migraines are coming in. Hearing a lot of people say they're not sleeping well, or they're feeling just very exhausted. So just really be gentle with yourself. A lot of self-love is needed here. But this is a shift here. We're really beginning to take responsibility for the roles and what we chose to come here and do as twin flames, because it's not an easy journey. It's a difficult path. But we're doing so well with it. So it's like, I urge you and beg you to pat yourself on the back and just keep pushing and stay in a space of unconditional love, because even if it doesn't seem like it, even if, again, on the external, it doesn't seem like you're making a mark each time that we continue to heal and shed and ascend, and there's just take those layers off and keep going up, we are changing one by one. We're changing the path, and we're lighting the way for others. We're lighting the way for others. So it's just important to just continue to do your work, continue to focus on what you need to. And you know, we're going to get through this together. You know, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm sharing these messages for you. That's why, you know, I'm sharing my experience with you. I had to step out of a place of fear, like, for a year. You know, my guys in the Divine wanted me to get on here on YouTube and do these videos. And I was like, no. I was like, I'm afraid to talk to people. They're not going to resonate with anything that I say. Like, it's just, I was so afraid, and it just got to the point. I was like, what do I have to lose here? It's like, I have a great responsibility, you know, to all that is. Like, I came here for a reason and a purpose, and I know that my messages are going to connect with the right people because I've already called you here. You know what I mean? And I had to trust in that space. So that's the biggest reason why I'm doing what I do. So thank you guys for being here if you're here. I just felt the need to say that, like, directly from just a space of just love in my heart right now. And just, I feel so connected to this path and this mission, and to all of you guys. Like, I can feel you so close, because we are close, because we're one. So I want to talk about temperance and the Three of Coins. So the temperance energy is, you know, that of balance. We know that as the card of balance, you know, and we're balancing out the energies of the masculine and feminine so that we can heal and we can come into union. How do we do that? Because this temperance card is really the card of, like, restructuring to me. That's how I saw it when the energy came in. It's like we're taking all these different, doing all these different things, whether it's, you know, energy healings or meditation or, you know, shamanic healing or inner child work, you know, whatever works for you. It's going to be a different modality for everyone. But we're trying to take all these different things and, like, figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, hey, this might work, this might not work, maybe a little bit of this, maybe a little less of that, but we're trying to find the formula. This is alchemy here. The Temperance card reminds me of alchemy. This is transformation, like, but we're trying to kind of take all these different formulas, and this is not only inner, because let me see here. See this divine energy coming in, this light coming in through the crown chakra? This is like the codes and the downloads that are coming in to really help us heal internally and kind of transmute. We're going through an inner transformation, and that inner shift, that inner transformation also is helping us to create and restructure our inner world, but also what is going on outside of us. And, you know, with the Three of Coins, this is, so we've figured out what's working, you know, we figured out, like, okay, this is working, and that we're being supported, and we feel like our feet's on the ground again. And because we're following this new path, even though it was scary and we had to face a lot of fears and we had to clean a lot out of the closet, now we're going into this new space, like, even though we can't see what's in front of us, but because we're following our hearts, we're following our true path, we're moving out of a space of separation. Because remember, the big thing that we're doing here is healing separation. But because we are more aligned with our truth, we're more aligned with our inner masculine and our inner feminine, we're being supported, and we're always being supported, but we're being supported in whatever we choose to create in the physical. The physical is coming into alignment and balance because we're balancing our inner worlds. We've done our inner healing, and that's gonna begin to take form and take shape, and you're being even more supported in the physical. So this could be, you know, a healing practice that you've wanted to integrate. This could be some type of art, like whatever your gift is and how you are going to help others integrate unconditional love as a twin flame. Your modal, like I like to call it light language. Like some people write light language, some people's music is light language, some people's voice has a resonance that's light language. Your light language signature is unique to each person, but like it's like you're beginning to share your mission, your gift in the world, and because you're following that path, the divine is supporting you in this. So I know I got way further into just the energies than I kind of wanted to, but again, you know, it all comes through the way that it's supposed to. So let's get into Rosophia. I told you this was going to be a long one, guys. So if you're still here, thanks for bearing with me. So I took a lot of notes on Rosophia. So I want to just show Rosophia a little bit here. So this is Rosophia, and it's beautiful. It's kind of like a reddish pink. You have some white inclusions, some dark inclusions in it. So immediately, like, you know, when I started working with Rosophia, like when I connect with any crystal, I connect with the color vibration first. And what really kind of connected with me was, number one, the black inclusions in the crystal. I was like, okay, this is pulling something out. You know what I mean? This is kind of purifying and pulling something out. And that white ray is kind of purifying as well. It's healing, it's protecting, it's restoring is a better word I want to use. It's that white ray that's in Rosophia is restoring the heart space, is specifically what I got. And when that energy's cleared out and our hearts are kind of like, it's like this pulsating energy that's kind of like, if you've ever felt your heart go boom 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 boom, it's like this new life is being birthed through the space of the heart. And this is like the full embodiment of the divine feminine working through you, and all of her natural feminine qualities, you know, unconditional love, the intuitive nature of the feminine, creative, nurturing, kind, tender, just the radiance of the feminine. She surrenders. We already talked about surrendering, just being in a space of allowing. That's the natural, some of the natural qualities of the divine feminine. And that's what we're really having to embody, not only within ourselves, but to everything that's in relationship outside of ourselves too. And this is why that energy of Rosophia and the Rosophia crystal has been coming through so strongly. I mean, Rosophia crystal, you know, really helps us awaken to the awareness of the heart. It forces us to pay attention to the heart. And, you know, it helps to really heal. It restructures. This space is bringing life and healing back into your heart. I see it as an initiation stone of the heart. And it helps to really bring unification in with the divine feminine and masculine energies. So there's something I want to say. Oh, I know what it was. There was, in the Book of Stones, there's one thing that really stood out to me that Robert Simmons says about Rosophia. He says it helps people heal in situations where they have turned against themselves, which I think is big too. Because, and immediately when I said that, I was drawn to the Ace of Swords, because, you know, the Ace of Swords, it could be viewed as like, okay, you stabbed yourself in the back. So now you got to take that knife out of your own back, where you've wounded yourself, maybe about all these things you told yourself about yourself and all of these experiences that you've had in relationship to yourself and others and love. Now you have to take responsibility for that and say, I am not those things. Maybe you're holding that sword up and you're saying, I am that I am, and you're changing the frequency and the vibration and the trajectory of like who you used to be and who you are becoming. And you know, that's how I'm connecting with that. But it liberates you from deep wounds, especially old patterns, past lies. And Rosophia, and this is one thing that's really been coming through me, is that it really, really triggers memory recall. Remember, we're talking about that remembrance energy. Like, it helps us really, like, that unconscious memory that has been kind of working through us. It helps us really remember those things, so it can, you know, those things can heal, and we can release that energy, you know. So I feel like that's another, you know, aspect of, you know, Venus and Scorpio and going into retrograde. We're going to pull all these thorns out, all these wounds. We're going into the underworld, you know. So buckle your seatbelt and remember, you can get through this. Keep yourself grounded, keep yourself protected, you know. But ultimately what we're doing is we're meeting the self. We're meeting the self at the deepest level. And then it's through our heart space that we can meet ourselves, because it's the truth of who we are. That's where our true essence, our true self, you know, resides in, is the heart space. And, you know, we have to uncover the weeds, and we have to heal the wounds and the traumas to uncover this truth. And there's profound freedom and healing available through this resonance, especially working with Rosophia and the energy of Divine Sophia that works through this crystals as essence. So I feel like just Rosophia is a heart chakra stone. It also works through the earth elemental. So I feel like it's bringing the truth of the heart, the truth of who you are, and bringing that essence into the world. Bringing our light into the world, bringing our gifts into the world, being in mission. And this is helping us to balance and come into alignment with not only our truth, but also love. We're shedding all the things, we're releasing all the things out of our life that are out of alignment with that. So I think it's important here when you're doing, you know, this healing work at this time. I think some important questions are to ask is, where have we stabbed ourselves in the back? How are we hurting ourselves? How are we wounding ourselves? What do we need to let go of? We got to look at these patterns. We got to look at people that we have in our lives. And it's like, the more that we are tuning into the heartbeat of the divine feminine, the more her resonance is rising. And we can see that. You see it in media. We see it in moon circles. It's just this empowerment of the divine feminine is rising and rising and rising. And the more that we tune in and we heal our divine feminine, the more the feminine rises in our power, and the Divine Sophia works through us. So the more that we heal our inner feminine, the more powerful this radiance, this empowered divine feminine can step forward, not only in ourselves, but we express that in our relationships with others. And we trigger that in others, and it moves. It's a flow, it's an essence, it's a vibration. We create a shift. So I'm going to drink some water. Bear with me. These symptoms are real. I've had migraines. I'm going through this sinus allergy thing right now. It's just, you know, got to stay balanced, got to take care of yourself, self-love here. The one thing I did want to mention is in working with Rosophia, I think it's important to also work with lepidolite because, you know, we're being triggered emotionally, so we can feel and heal the wounds. And, you know, remember the wounded feminine is very defensive. She's defensive. She's over emotional. And, you know, lepidolite, you know, is a lithium based crystal. And I have my lepidolite, if you can see it right here. I'm not going to pick it up because it's pretty huge. But lepidolite really helps to really soothe the emotions, anxiety. To me, I feel like it's a natural antidepressant. It just really takes everything down and really helps you gain perspective. I feel like a lot when I work with lepidolite, where it's like I kind of feel like I'm taking a step back and I'm just looking at my emotions, and I'm able to just kind of look at it without, not saying that I don't feel my emotions, but I'm being able to look at my emotions for what they are, and I'm able to kind of parent those emotions, because a lot of those triggers, those emotions, those wounds that are coming up are coming from the inner child that wants to be healed. And it allows you to be in a space where you're consciously aware of your emotions, and now you're able to parent yourself. Remember, this isn't about being judgmental or critical, but this is about allowing that space, saying, I see you, I understand this emotion, and now we're going to heal. We're going to change these patterns. We're going to restructure, and I'm still going to love you in those spaces. And I feel like lepidolite really kind of allows you to the space to really, really do that. So if you feel overwhelmed by this work, especially we can all feel it building up. And as Venus goes retrograde, it's going to intensify. Like, work with lepidolite in conjunction with Rosophia. I would highly recommend, if you have, even if it's a tumbled lepidolite, keep it in your pocket. If you can get it as a piece of jewelry, even better. Something that you can keep on you every day if possible. Make sure you keep it cleansed on a regular basis. But working with lepidolite is going to be just really, really powerful right now, to just really helping you to really become consciously aware of your feelings and emotions, so that you can really heal. So I'm trying to think if there's anything that I wanted to say that I didn't say. So I want to talk about the divine masculine here in this space, because even though a lot of this work is coming in from the divine feminine, remember, this work the divine feminine that is doing, she's supporting and she's holding space for the masculine. So how is this really affecting the masculine? Well, the first thing that comes up for me, and I was called to pull this card out of my deck before this reading, but that we're talking about the energy, of separation. And, you know, I feel like here, you know, the feminine's like, I gotta do some healing, I gotta relax, I need to recoup. And the masculine's kind of like, I gotta do some work here too. I need to really connect and heal and feel. And there's this new kind of remember, the masculine's feeling now. He's connecting more with his heart. He's trying to figure it out. So, you know, this separation is temporary. One thing that I really like that I heard like another person use, and I believe it was like a comment someone made, is that instead of using the word separation, we say suspended. Because I feel like we change the terminology a little bit, like, because remember, we're not, separation's an illusion. But if we say suspended, it's just kind of like, I feel like we're floating, you know, we're shifting, we're adjusting, and we're trying to recalibrate and figure it out. So right now I just feel like, you know, the masculine and feminine is just trying to figure it out. That's the only way I can say it. They're trying to figure it out. They're healing in different ways. But when this work is done, when these shifts are completed, it's like they're going to find themselves more aligned. They're going to, you know, kind of, I feel like really it's like how I see it is the masculine and the feminine. And I don't know, there's a tarot deck that I think actually depicts the lovers cards like this, and I don't know what deck it is, but it's like the masculine and the feminine energy, their backs are like they're back to back, they're not facing each other. And this is how I'm seeing it. There's no separation. You're still connected, you're still unified, but it's like you're kind of focused on yourself. You're focused on becoming whole and healed within yourself. And then you can turn around and you can face each other and you can see each other and you can begin to work together. And I'm feeling that's kind of what's happening here. The divine masculine is unlearning a lot of mental programming here. This is from learned things. This is from the world, the mind matrix that's been kind of imposed. The divine feminine is unlearning emotional program when it comes to love. And this healing is clearing the programming from, like we said, the lower chakras, the solar, the sacral, the root. And when this energy is clear, this is shifting our vibration. So the resonance and the energy that's being sent up through our central channel can connect with the divine heart. Because remember, we're clearing all those thorns and stuff out. So when that energy is flowing and we're restored and it hits our heart chakra, it's like literally all I'm seeing is like this flower that's just like poof, blows open. It's like this radiance and this light just kind of emerges and breaks loose. And I feel like it's a vibration that is not only felt inside, but it's felt by everyone around you externally, and that resonance is going to be felt in the world. It's going to be a shift. So it's important to really hone in and do this work. So I feel like I'm kind of starting to say some of the same things. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I wanted to include. So I was kind of doodling and I was just writing things about the masculine and feminine. And the one thing I kind of was doodling like is the divine feminine and the connection with the sacral chakra, and the divine masculine and the connection with the root chakra. And looking at how our energy is being siphoned from those areas. The divine feminine energy mainly, we resides in mainly the higher chakras because it's inward. It's that higher vibrational energy. The masculine energy mainly rules in the lower chakras, being more in the physical, external. So if the masculine is being siphoned in the root chakra, he doesn't feel safe. There's not a sense of stability. He doesn't feel secure. So he can go into that wounded masculine energy. Abusive. Let's talk about wounded masculine stuff. Confrontational, unsupportive, aggressive, abuse of power, control. And that's how the masculine energy is being siphoned. When you're not aligned with the essence of your truth, and healing hasn't occurred. Just like with the feminine, we talked about the wounded feminine qualities. She can't anchor. She can't anchor her energy in the physical. I can't even get it out. It's like coming so fast. Like basically the divine feminine stays in the higher chakras. The masculine will stay in the lower chakras. It's like the inner world and the outer world. And that creates the illusion of separation here, because it's like the feminine can't anchor her energy down, into the physical, and the masculine energy can't rise up from the physical to meet the feminine energy in the heart space. And that's really what the illusion of the separation is, and we're clearing out this energy. But what's important to note is that regardless of which way you look at this both disempowers the solar plexus. It all disempowers, takes power away from us, from our center. But when we clear this out and we become connected to who we are, we free up our energy to flow naturally through us as it should. And our lights turn on, or we are more connected with our light bodies, and we shine that light, our Merkabas, into the world. And, this is about restoring the heart and bringing union within the self. That is the primary quality of Rosophia. And it begins, I can't say it time and time enough, it begins with inner healing, because it facilitates the outer union. When you do your inner work, your inner feminine and your inner masculine work, it spills over into the outer union. So if you've been someone that's been so pulled into, when is my physical partner, when are we going to come into union? I've been on this journey for umpteen years, or 5 years, or 5 months, or whatever that time frame is with you. I feel like it's important to ask yourself, have you really been doing your inner work? Or have you been so focused on what's going on in the physical that you've missed the opportunities to really truly connect deeply with yourself? And also recognize that it's like, and I think I have a post, and it might be on my Instagram, where it's a picture of masculine and feminine. It says, I am you and you are me. Mirroring, and I feel a lot of that coming through with the 1010 gateway. Mirroring. I am you and you are me. This is shedding so we can come into balance and alignment, recognizing that the masculine and feminine energy resides within yourself. And when you're whole and healed in both aspects, that union occurs. And then what's outside of yourself begins to anchor in and shift naturally. Those illumined pillars, those illumined union pillars come in, those from the high vibrational spaces, and that light begins to anchor on the earth plane and the physical. And the more twins, the more divine partnerships and soulmates are anchoring their light here on this plane, the more that the vibration of the planet and the more souls and their lights are activated. And it's such a great responsibility. I also wanted to mention too, because I'm going to wrap up here soon, there's a video I watched over on Twinstrology. If you're not following Twinstrology, Marla, she's awesome. I love her. I feel like she keeps it real. Like she keeps it real. She really understands the importance of the inner work. And she focuses on that inner work. Like, not to say she doesn't talk about your physical union, but she really understands that the inner work is the most important. And she connects astrology and what's going on in the stars in the sky, and how that vibration is affecting us from an astrological perspective and with our union energy. So I like her perspective. It's very unique. But she did a video that you should definitely go over and check out on her channel. And it's about the feminine energy healing the shadow self through the energies of Lilith. So and it's also about healing separation as well. So it's a really great video. I would encourage you to really go over there and check that out. So again, her channel is Twinstrology. Check it out. But I think that's all I want to kind of cover so much about the Divine Feminine and kind of what's going on at this time. So I pulled a card just from Spirit and from the Divine for this energy of Sophia and her resonance, what she's bringing forth with her work with us at this time in our heart space. Her message is one of unconditional love of deep, deep healing. She's working through the energy of the Venus and Scorpio retrograde. Because remember, this retrograde is going to challenge our relationship to ourselves and our relationship to others. We're going to be looking at things that are out of alignment, that are not in alignment with our truth and our hearts. And when Venus goes direct, which I believe is like November 15th, it's going direct in Libra. So another sign of love, balance, harmony, and relationship. I feel like this is helping us to become more aligned within ourselves. I'm still feeling that mirroring energy. The masculine and feminine are mirroring each other in this space. I'm just really feeling very strongly like union energies. That's why I kind of like paused. Kind of what I'm getting is everyone's kind of in a different space and a different timeline within their union. There will be some people, and this is going to be different. Again, as always, take whatever resonates with you and, you know, in the messages, and, you know, anything that doesn't, just kind of leave it behind. But what I'm getting is I'm seeing different timelines. And there's some people who are going to start having like contact with their twin. Like if you had like absolutely no contact at all from your physical twin, you might start seeing, like, let's say you've been on social media and maybe they blocked you. Maybe something shifted and now they haven't blocked you anymore. Then all of a sudden you start seeing their posts. It could be something like that where there's not like communication, but there's like a presence. For some people, it's going to be communication. Like your twin may reach out to you. Just general contact. For some, because I know for the 9-9 gateway, there's a lot of twins that also came into union. But I feel like there's a lot of other people in different timelines that are coming into union. So just stick with it. It doesn't matter what timeline you're on. Just remember that everything has a process and an order. And it's like we can't come into union any sooner than we're supposed to. Because it's not going to work. It's like magnets that are going to repel each other. You kind of go back off into suspension. Remember, not separation. Suspended space where you turn away and your backs are facing each other because you still gotta, you know, focus on other things. You gotta focus within. So I pulled a card from the Kuan Yin Oracle, message from the divine, message from spirit, that was most important for us to know, to come forward working with this rising divine feminine energy at this time, and working with the Divine Sophia and working through the resonance of the Rosophia crystal, which is her resonance. And what came forth is, and I just want to show the image on the card. It's such a beautiful energy of freedom. So the message is the threshold. At the threshold you stand. Before you lies a way of being that is beyond fear. It is a sacred passing through a karmic veil into a new life of empowerment, peace, and unconditional love. You are coming home to love. And literally, when I read that message, I literally, tears started coming out of my eyes, because union is so close, and there's such a confirmation message that, like, this work we're doing, this clearing, this healing of the feminine energy and the masculine energy, but this deep healing that we're going through, we're releasing these old patterns, these old wounds, this old karma, And we're doing it because we're freeing ourselves. We're freeing ourselves from the chains, the shackles, the things that have bound us. It reminds me, like, literally, I just seen the devil's card into tarot, where the masculine and feminine are like kind of chained up and they can't get to each other. Like, this is cutting those shackles and releasing yourself so that you can hold each other again, love each other again, and move into a new space. Rise up in your power, feel at one, and feel at peace in your unified self, and be in a space of unconditional love. Because it's any feelings of separation, any feelings of abandonment you've ever experienced, whatever that may be for you, it's only because of the absence of the divine in our lives, and whatever you resonate to that as being. When we recognize that we're not separate from the divine, when we're not separate from who we truly are, and realizing that all that is one. We're one with all things. And that is love. That is unconditional love. Then we heal that separation wound. We heal that wound. And we're home. We're home in ourselves. We're home in our hearts. We're moving from that space. We feel peace. We feel balance. We feel empowered because we are aligned with our truth. We feel it. We speak it. We breathe it. We live it. And that radiates to everything around us. Our entire universe is unconditional love. And if one person does it, the next person does it. The next person does it. And that's why our work as twin flames is so important. Our light is so important to anchor here. So if you ever feel down, or you feel in a space where this journey is too hard, remember why we're here. Put your hands on your heart space and connect to your truth. Remember who you are and why we chose this mission, why we're here, because it's an important one. And my beautiful souls, we need your love. We need your light here more than ever at this time. So hopefully these messages, the reading resonated with you guys. Again, thank you for those who hung in with me. This is like an hour message. Again, if you would like a personal reading, the info will be below in the description. Also, make sure that you follow me over on Instago. Subscribe to the channel as well. And again, if you would like to purchase a Rosophia crystal to work with at this time, I do have 10 available, and I'll intuitively choose one to send to you. That information will be down below as well. And if you're someone who watches this video, because you know everyone's in a different timeline, if you happen to watch this video 2 months from now, 8 months from now, 2 years from now, and you feel called to working with Rosophia, just put a message down in the comments, or you can email me, and one just might be available for you. But I'm going to close off, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I'll see you again in a few days for the full moon video. Other than that, take care, guys. I love you so much. Blessings and namaste.